guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh. This is JDM right hand drive, and in today's video we are going to be installing the 370Z sport brakes. These are also known as the Infiniti Q50 Q60 rear sport brakes. I'm so excited. We're going to be installing these on my R32 Nissan Skyline GTR today. So the machine shop is almost done with my engine. We're going to be doing the last machining steps here at the end of this month. So in preparation of having more horsepower, I'm going to start with the rear brakes. We're going to show you everything that's involved with installing them on the R32 GTR. And we're going to be removing the tiny little brakes, from the 90s, the original Nissan brakes. And these were, were good brakes 30 plus years ago. I mean, this car originally debuted in 1989. It was developed and designed in the 80s, so the technology is definitely going to need to match the horsepower output we're going to have with HKS Step 2 V-Cam and a full HKS Step 2 motor with a Garrett single turbo making, I don't know, my power goal is around 600 wheel to start. I definitely will turn it up more if I want to later, but I want to be able to stop and feel safe. So let's measure these and just compare, and then we'll start pulling the stock ones off the car. So side to side, these are just under 14 inches, so 13 3/4 basically. I'll put the millimeter measurement size up there. And I picked these up from Z1 Motorsports, and they were about $200 including shipping and tax. So pretty affordable for a nice set of OEM Nissan Rotors. And I picked these brakes up. I've had them for a couple years in my garage. They're used. They're off of eBay. I'll put a link for eBay where I picked them up. They're around like $700 a set used. You can buy them brand new from Z1 Motorsports for about $1,200 for the front and the rears. So I picked them up for about half price used, and they look, to be in pretty good condition. Came with all the brackets, all the hardware, all the original, mounting bolts and everything I need. I don't know about you guys, but I am pretty freaking excited. This is looking pretty beefy and pretty juicy, especially with the rotors on there. It's going to be a nice clean look. I like I went with like the gray color. They have them in red, and I think there's other colors too. So I want kind of a sleeper look, and I don't want them to be very noticeable, and I want my car to look clean. So let's get everything dismounted. Let's figure out if it's going to work. If you guys like this type of content, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, and subscribe. Let's get into it. We're going to go ahead and remove the factory Nissan 2-piston calipers with the brake line, which is connected up here. I'm going to go ahead and just crack this bleeder screw open. I'm going to bleed the brake fluid out. I'll take this whole thing off as just one piece. Here we go. To loosen the brake line, make sure you guys use a square nut wrench here so you don't strip your brake lines. All is one piece. Make sure your e-brake's off, and then your rotor, just pull right off. Now that we have the stock R32 rotor off, I figured this would be a good time to give a quick measurement on it. So we're sitting at 11.7 inches, it looks like, versus 13.8. So it's basically 2 inches bigger from here to there. Let's go ahead and check the center brake drum measurement. So basically 6 3/4 and 6 3/4, the exact same size. So this is going to be a direct plug and play. Now they do have a 2-piece rotor from Z1. I opted to go with the OEM 370Z brakes because you can get an entire set for like 200 bucks. They're way more cost effective, and I like the fact that this is, all solid steel in the center drum, and it'll be easy to replace. These are also painted on the inside and around like the areas that aren't going to be contacted by the pads, so it's going to keep them from corroding. 370 sport brakes are definitely going to be a little bit heavier than the R32 GTR, but it's going to be well worth the extra weight with all that extra stopping power. And being that this is a bigger brake and there's more material, it's going to take longer to put heat into this material and get brake fade. So they're ventilated inside and out, and I think these are going to work awesome on the car. Stock one weighs 14 pounds 8 ounces versus 19 pounds 2 ounces, so just over 4 pounds heavier. I can't wait to get my car back out on track. I'm having so much more confidence knowing once I get my engine built that these are going to be able to stop my car, and I'm just super pumped right now, guys. Let's get back to it. I'm really curious to see if the 370Z Akebono calipers will mount right up to this, just like they did with my STI brake kit on the WRX. It was direct plug and play, so I'm hoping that this will go. Okay, so let's just do a quick trial test to see if these will line up. And no, the caliper bolt holes are off-centered. They won't match up, as well as the hardware is too big to fit through the knuckle. So let me do some research. I reached out to my friends from Z1 Motorsports, and we picked up a set of rear and front brake lines that we're going to need. These are for the 370Z. I'll put a link in the description down below on these, as well as the actual rear caliper brackets that are going to mount these to the knuckles. Let's open these. They're made out of solid stainless steel, so you can see they're magnetic. Unlike aluminum, that's definitely going to be a stronger setup, and you can see where they've done all the measurements and all the cutouts and everything, so it's a direct bolt onto the knuckle. And I like the stainless steel brake lines from Z1 Motorsports. They're Teflon coated. They've got all your adjustment things that will slide to help you mount it to the car. Comes with all the different banjo bolts with the copper crush washers, so very nice mounting hardware with lock washers and washers, so direct bolt-on setup for what we need. So I had the genius idea to go ahead and take the knuckle off, thinking I could remove the dust shield similar to how the dust shield came off on my WRX when I installed the STI brake kit. And once I get everything apart, I realized I needed a press to separate the two halves in order to get the shield off. So don't do that. It was a big waste of time. I wasted like an hour here. So let's get back to the video. When you go to put this on, it is way bigger than that dust shield. So let's go ahead and cut that down. And I'm just kind of doing a little bit of work here and there. It's Christmas season. I've got family visiting. I've got friends visiting. I'm home with my family, my kids, my wife, and stuff like that. So I'm just kind of coming out to the garage here and there. And I apologize if my content is kind of slowed down. We're going to do the rear brake kit. I'll do the front brake kit video next. Not sure when that'll be done, but let's keep plugging away. Let's get this all completely done. I want to show you guys everything involved to do this install yourself. So if you got basic hand tools and you don't want to pay a shop, like the local performance shop wants $1,000 to install the front and rear brakes, and this is something I could do probably in like 3-4 hours front and rear in my garage at home by myself. To me, that's worth saving $1,000. If you guys like this type of content, hit the thumbs up. We have cracked 12,500 subscribers. Thank you so much for the channel support, guys. Let's get back to it. All right, so let's come in here and take a look, guys. We've got this all cut down and sanded down pretty smooth. It's ready for paint. And what I did is I went ahead and put the caliper bracket on here to test fit it. And you guys can see how the design, it's machined to fit perfectly onto the knuckle with no grinding. It's going to save you a lot of time for perfect fitment. It's really nice. And I'll show you, we're going to have to trim a little bit more in this section. So let's set this on real quick. So it's contacting here. And so I'm going to have to remove a little bit of material from the caliper, which Z1 Motorsports claims that these are a direct bolt-on, so that's kind of what I was thinking. And I went ahead and removed some dust shield here, which you can see I removed too much. I'll probably trim it up a little different on the other side. Same thing here, I didn't need to quite remove as much as I did. But I'm going to go ahead and just get a die grinder out. I'm going to grind that down a little bit. I also need to trim a little bit more on this lower dust shield right here, because the caliper is going to contact that. So I'm going to trim this little section out and we'll get it all mocked up. I'm giving you guys a little behind the scenes on other projects that my wife and I stay busy with. So we're actually repainting our entire interior right now. I bought a 5-gallon bucket of paint to start, and this is like a I don't remember what kind of gray. It's called, I don't remember what it's called. Hydrochroma. So it's, we were looking for a light gray. This actually has like a little bit of a tint of a blue to it, but what we're trying to get rid of is, like, we had our house, we bought it 10 years ago, and everything's that brown color. So we're getting rid of the brown and going with the light gray, which makes the house feel a lot cleaner, more open, more airy. And it looks, I think it looks pretty good. Let me know what you guys think. So my wife painted all the walls. I'm going to paint the ceiling here today before I go to work. All this ceiling area from here to there. And that'll probably be my day. So I've been going at it for about a half hour. And it looks nice. Really like the color. But yeah, coming into the house, it'll make it look a lot more inviting. You know, coming into a light, clean, airy feeling makes the hardwood pop a little bit more versus the brown carpet and the brown hardwood kind of blended together with the paint, and the whole house is just kind of brown. And you know, 10 years ago that was the style, but now it's different. So hope you guys like that behind the scenes. Leave me a hashtag happy wife, happy life if you guys like this. So I wanted to show you guys with the brackets too, they only go on one way. This bottom part is going to go to where, like, this little opening area is on the knuckle, this little part that protrudes out. And basically you have to push the rear brake line. It's kind of in the way, so you just push it back with your thumb. You can get these right up into position and then put your factory R32 GTR hardware into it. And these don't fit on any other way, so if you think, okay, I can use these and then use my R32 hardware to put that on, the bolt holes don't line up, they're too big. These are for the caliper. And then if you try to put it on, like, I pretty much tried it every single way, thinking there's got to be some way to mount these up without having to die grind out that brake caliper. And so if we grab the one from the other side, You can see this cutout. This isn't gonna fit either, even though you could line the bolt holes up. The upper arm, the toe arm is in the way, the traction arm. I did email Z1. They claimed that these are a direct bolt on to the caliper with no grinding. I think what they were referring to was the Z1 sport calipers that they offer. You guys will have to verify with them because I did not hear back from them at the time I finished editing this video. So you guys can see how the brake line for the e-brake sits against the rear caliper bracket. There's got a nice insulator around it, so it should keep it nice and protected. It won't be a problem. But these are all torqued down. I wanted to show you guys the driver's side. So as far as when you cut the dust shield, all you need to cut off is this little bottom section right here, this little triangle piece. Everything else, the top is all left the same. So I cut off this triangle piece and then I just ground into this area. Right here, I just ground into this area a little bit to give space for this. Moment of truth. Let's get our brake rotor on. So I've been working on this brake kit for like over the last 4 or 5 days on my vacation, just trying to get it finished up. And where I'm at, guys, I want to post this because I'm not sure if there's an issue with this brake kit or what exactly is going on, but I've got kind of everything mocked up like I was showing you. This touch is down here, so I thought, okay, well, we're gonna have to grind this out. I'll show you the other side. I basically destroyed my caliper trying to grind it. Z1 brake line fits perfectly, mounts right up to the car, plenty of clearance all the way around. Bolts right in, looks good. And I have the rest of the front Akebono 2-piece Z1 brake kit that I'm still waiting to install. So this is the issue I'm having. Look how much material I removed from the caliper, and it's still won't even mount to the car. It's still so far away that I believe that there's got to be something wrong with the bracket fitment, because there's no reason that this should fit this way. And I reached out to Z1 Motorsports before I started this project. They emailed me back. They said, hey, you know, don't screw around with other kits. Our brackets will mount right up to the car. You don't have to do anything to the caliper or anything like that. The only thing I kind of had to go off of was Platoon Garage. He did the same brake kit install, but he did the Z Concepts caliper bracket in the back, and he just had to do just a little bit of grinding. Everything went right on just fine. So I'm kind of at a loss for words on this project. I reached out to Z1. I reached out to him yesterday. I reached out to him today. Z1 Motorsports, this is Josh. Just wrapping up this video. My question is if I use the Z1 Sport calipers versus... This is not seeming right to me, Z1 Motorsports. Look how much has to be ground out of here. I'm like through the caliper. Still, I haven't heard anything back. So yeah, I mean, if they would have emailed me back or contacted me on Instagram, I could have not... you know, destroyed that caliper on the other side. I basically sent him a video asking, you know, hey, is this how this is supposed to fit? Because it's supposed to be direct bolt on according to what you guys told me. So yeah, so I pretty much ruined my entire rear caliper on the other side. So I'm not going to put that on the car. I got to figure out what I'm going to do. And yeah, Z1, if you guys watch this video, let me know what I need to do to fix this. So you can see my workbench is just covered in aluminum dust. I had my Dremel out, I had my die grinder bits out, and I take full responsibility myself for damaging this caliper. Z1, the instructions said not to grind it, so that's on me. I figured that I could do this, and obviously it didn't work out. And I've just basically been grinding this whole thing slowly and slowly and slowly. You had to grind this part down because the bracket right here was contacting it. So it had to be ground to fit around that. I was having issues around this, and that was contacting all right here. I had to keep going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper till I'm all the way through right into where the brake pad is underneath here. So that is definitely, this is a no-go, and this is pretty much trash. So just go ahead and throw that one in the bin. Just have to start over. So I just want to be very clear in this video. I am not in any way trying to bash Z1 Motorsports. I'm simply just sharing the experience I'm having and the issue that I'm having, and hoping that Z1 and maybe people in the community can give me some advice to get me on the right track. I haven't been doing much uploads lately, and I don't want my channel to fall off on the YouTube algorithm. We've got good growth. I want to keep the momentum going forward into 2024. This is going to be my first upload, and it's just kind of an update with where I'm at with the car. And then once I get a solution figured out, what I'll probably do is do a quick recap on the rear brake kit install while I'm wrapping up the front Z1 Motorsport big brake kit install up front there. So I wanted to mock this up for you guys too, and one other thing I'm noticing as well. If you look at the rear bolt, it's not mounted all the way flat to the bracket. The caliper is actually spaced out about 5 millimeters, so if it went back all the way, it would actually be contacting the front of the rotor. It's not lining up. So let me know, Z1, if you watch this, or anybody that's watching this. I'm pretty sure there's just something wrong with those brackets. R32 and the Z32 Fairlady, I'm pretty sure that the rear spindles are exactly the same, the knuckles. So I don't think that that's the issue. Let me know what you guys think. From all the research I did, they're supposed to be the same. Well, it's a little bit of a teaser, guys, but it does look freaking awesome on there. Look how aggressive the rear end of this car would look. Imagine having the front and everything all done at the same time. So these are my track wheels off of my WRX, and I'm going to be using those just temporarily until I get new fresh rubber on the LMG T4s. And I've been considering getting these all repowder coated and using these as like my dailies, and then using these as my like my show wheels, track wheels. Let me know what you guys think. These are a plus 30 offset versus a 22, and these are plus 3.5, so I mean they're really sunk in. Well, that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. I'm a little disappointed I couldn't get this video wrapped up for you, but I wanted to give you guys a channel update, kind of let you know where I'm at with the channel and where we're gonna be going from here. So next will be front brakes, then will be the RB HKS Step 2 build. We're going to get that finished up. That's going to be coming. Get the assembly going. Get the base strip for paint. Start putting everything back together. Thanks for watching. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think I should do here. And hit the thumbs up if you like this type of stuff. And I'll be back with round 2 to finish up the rear brake kit. See you guys then. Bye.